Hey, welcome to our weekly get-together. Glad to have you here today. And we're going to talk about something that I am exploring so that it might help you as well. And that is T-Mobile Home Internet. So this could give you higher speed, especially if you're on CenturyLink DSL, at a lower cost. So my little mouse is going a little faster than I wanted to. Okay, so this is Go for Lunch number 95. I'm Roger Harmon, your host with GoFor Technology, where our desire is to make your technology work for you. So what is T-Mobile Home Internet? Well, you get this box here, this monolith that's not very big, 4.5 inches square and 7.5 inches tall, with this pretty LCD screen to give you a little bit of idea what is going on. So I do not work or receive any compensation from T-Mobile. So why would we want to do this? Well, as I mentioned, we're going to try to save you some money. And one thing that I'm interested in, and that is to have a portable internet connection. So I'm not sure this is going to work. I'm going to have to experiment with this, but my hope is that if I wanted to stream from another location, like maybe a Tucson Macintosh user group meeting at a restaurant or some other venue that does not have good upload speed required for video conferencing or video streaming, then I could take this little box and take it with me and get a good solid signal that was not available before. So let's see what this looks like when it comes to you. And before we watch the unboxing video, I was impressed with the fact that they said that this was going to arrive on March 2nd, and it arrived on March 25th. I think I ordered it on March 23rd. So they under-promised and over-delivered, much like Apple does sometimes. So it came in a cardboard box. So we'll open the box here, and there's the packaging, and we're going to pull out the instructions. And then we're going to pull out the device, which is nicely wrapped, and the power supply, which uses a USB-C. And we'll talk about the connections on the back here a little later. So there you have it. I hope you like that unboxing video. Okay, so how do you know if you can get T-Mobile Home Internet where you are? Well, you go to the link that looks exactly like this, and you click on the magenta, T-Mobile is all about magenta, button here, and you can check availability. So as we scroll down here on this page, we'll learn some other things about this. First of all, they have a promotion in place at the moment where you can get a $50 virtual prepaid MasterCard, so that means that you'll get 1 month of service on them. So you're going to save up to 50%. The setup is fairly simple. They have 24-hour, 7-day-a-week support. You don't have to have any money down just to sign up. And they're promising, and they say they stick to their promises, that there will be no price hikes or hidden fees, and no annual service contracts. So it's $50 a month, period. So there's a little testimonial. And then they have some other little benefits. You can get YouTube TV. And I didn't check. I don't know if anybody here has YouTube TV. If you do, I think Mary does. I'm not sure Mary's here, but let me know if you get Tucson local stations on YouTube TV. I looked quickly and I couldn't find anything that was up to date, though The list I found didn't have Tucson on it. It had Phoenix, but not Tucson. But on YouTube TV, you can get all the networks and a bunch of streaming services. And one of those streaming services is Paramount Plus, which you don't get on YouTube TV. But they're giving you 1 year of free subscription to Paramount Plus, and I activated that a couple days ago, and it works great. So that gives you all your CBS programming. I think it's got Comedy Central. It's got the Smithsonian and several other streaming services combined on Paramount Plus. And if you're getting your phone service from your present internet service provider, whether it be CenturyLink or a cable company, T-Mobile has you covered there. They'll give you a free UMA interface, so you can just plug in your existing cordless phone to that, and that is $10 a month for 18 months. And I don't know if it goes up from there after 18 months, but I'm guessing it might. So then they're just saying that they do have business service, so you have a small business, you can get the service for that, and that the fact that they're trying real hard to get internet service to rural areas. So that is how that works. And I'm just realizing that you're not seeing anything that I just talked about. But you are now. Okay, let's try that over. So to check availability, you click on the little magenta button. T-Mobile is all about magenta. So I'll just go through this real quick because I already told you. So there's the advantages, and then there's YouTube TV and Paramount Plus, the new Star Trek Discovery for all you Trekkies out there. And then there's the home phone service for $10 a month. So my apologies. So to get that, in the description there is a link right down below, so you can check that link and go to that page we just saw. So a little pro tip here: don't expect them to email you and say it's available in your area. I've been on their waiting list for, I don't know, 6 months, and they never sent me any notification. I just kept checking back. So my advice to you is to keep checking if this is something that you're interested in. So a little public service announcement. A public service announcement, shortened URLs. So the actual link to the T-Mobile availability page looks like this: 4 lines of gobbledygook. So who wants to deal with that? I mean, it would work, but not only does it look ugly, but if you don't, copy it, from one end to the other properly, if you missed the little S on the end, you wouldn't get to the right place. So what I do is I use a program to shorten URLs. It's called, wait for it, Shorten. So now the URL looks like this. So you can see the beginning, here's a little clue, is kind of like the word short, SHRT. Short M, taking a little, anyway. So this is the link that you see. So because this is different, and you probably haven't seen these before, there's other ways to shorten, there's other systems that will shorten URLs. One starts with BIT. So that one's okay too, but I just didn't want you to be afraid to click on this because it looks different. It's this in the shortened format. Okay, so how do you get this thing set up? Well, there's an app for that. And when you're going to the App Store to download it, you want to make sure that it says T-Mobile Internet, because there's several different T-Mobile apps on the App Store. So make sure it's the Internet app. Another public service announcement, as I recommend, anytime you get a new piece of electronic equipment, here it is in the background here. This is the window over here. And you need to label it because the manufacturer does not spend the extra 10 cents to get their name put on the power supply, power brick, wall wart, whatever you want to call this device that plugs into the wall. So I recommend highly that you label it as soon as you take it out of the box, like I did. Or if you don't have a label maker, you can just put some masking tape and use a Sharpie or a ballpoint pen to write down the name of the device that this connects to. You can thank me later. So the setup is done in the app. They pretty well emphasize that it should be placed near a window. And it includes Wi-Fi. And it also includes an Ethernet port. So everything that you have right now on your cable modem, your interface to the internet, your Wi-Fi access point, and an Ethernet switch is all in this box. So you don't have to worry. Everything that you have now with the cable company provided modem, or maybe one that you bought yourself, is in there. And if you have like a mesh system, like I know Leslie Ann does, and Susan does, you can plug that mesh system into one of those Ethernet ports. And of course, if you need more Ethernet ports, you can buy an inexpensive Ethernet switch and get as many ports as you want. So that is the story on how it gets set up. So once you get it set up in the app, it tells you what your connection quality is. So I got very good. So it's in a window here, right just beyond me over here. And I got very good. So I haven't tried any other windows. And of course, if from the research I did, people that even only had 2 bars were getting pretty good speed. So, and you can certainly, tell by doing a speed test what the quality of your connection. So let's look at before with Cox Cable. My speed was 177 megabits per second downloading, and 10.5 megabits per second upload. So that's not bad. That's I can't remember what Cox calls that, but it's I think I'm paying for 150 down, and they don't ever tell you what they provide up. Usually you have to dig for that information. So now with T-Mobile, I'm getting 280 down and 28 up. So the 28 is the thing that I'm most interested in, because when I do a YouTube video like I'm doing right now using the T-Mobile 5G internet system, the higher the upload speed, the better the result will be of what you are seeing at home. So I like to have almost 30 megabits per second upload. So let's talk about the cost. So right now from Cox, I'm paying say $88 a month, and that is only for internet, nothing else. No phone, no TV, just internet. So now with T-Mobile, I'm paying $50 a month. So what I'm saving, what, $38 there a month. So it adds up. And again, I got the Paramount Plus, which is working great. I got it working on my Apple TV and on my iPad and iPhone and my computer. And then there's the $50 MasterCard gift card that we mentioned previously. So a lot of incentives to try out this service. So, is this the only game in town? No. So Verizon has a 5G home internet system as well. And they have two different tiers, one at the same price as T-Mobile, and one what they call their Plus plan. And the Plus is they provide 1 year to a subscription to Disney Plus and a couple other streaming services. So if you're already a Verizon customer, you might want to look at this. T-Mobile actually has more coverage right now than more 5G coverage than Verizon. So you may not be able to get this where you live, depending on the build out of the 5G by Verizon or T-Mobile. So if you if you live out in the suburban areas, if you live in Oral Valley, or if you live in north east Tucson, I'm trying to think of who's listening here today. You may not be able to get this service. But if you live close to a freeway or a major street, an arterial street, then that's where they're building this out first, is along the major thoroughfares. So again, you need to check with the company, put in your address, and they should be able to tell you whether they can provide service to your location. So unfortunately, this is not a slam dunk for everybody, but if you're in a coverage area, then it's a good deal. So while you're putting your questions in the comments, please remember to share the GoFor Gazette with your friends that use Apple products. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. You can hit the subscribe button, which is right down here. And if you click on the little bell, then you'll be notified every time we go live. So let's see if we have any questions here. So Stanley, you asked a question about how do you overcome the fact that DuckDuckGo does not have a reader mode, and I asked you to clarify that. And okay, so let's. Are you, Stanley? Are you thinking of that on the Mac or on your iPad? So let me know about that. So good morning, Bob, and good morning, Gretchen, and okay, so I think I got us back there. And hi, Judy, and thank you, Bob and Kurt, and so Leslie Ann, AT&T does not yet offer a program similar to this, as far as I can tell. So okay, no, you don't have to have Leslie Ann. You don't have to have a phone beside your mobile. So you would still have your. I think you're on AT&T, so that wouldn't affect that. I mean, you could get a T-Mobile. You could switch to T-Mobile cellular service if you wanted to, but you wouldn't have to. So oh, okay, yeah, good idea, Susan. Yeah, that might be a good idea for you. And I think I did cover the fact that you can just plug the Eero into one of those Ethernet ports, the two Ethernet ports in the back, and your Eero will continue to work as you expect it. So yes, you would get rid of your modem. And why didn't that question come up? There it is. Yeah, so the modem you have now, you would no longer need, because that modem is only for the cable service. And so, yes, we can. I guess Leslie Ann's on another adventure. And okay, good question. I think I'm getting 5G service from the speeds that I'm getting. I'm assuming, and from the research I did, there's some place where it will tell you whether you're on 5G or you're on LTE. And so, but the website that tells you that I couldn't reach today. So, but let me show you something here on my iPhone. So there's a neat little app that I use quite a bit called Cellular Coverage Map. So we will switch to the So it wanted to mute my mic there when I went to the iPhone. So we're going to tap on the icon, and here's the coverage map. So you can see cells are always shown in hexagons. So you can see the little blue dot there in the center. That's where I am. So you can see the dark gray is 5G, and the green, I guess you would call that green or lighter gray, is LTE. So you can see I am right on the edge. Oh, look, I just moved. I'm right on the edge. I was right on the edge of the 5G service. So let's just, for kicks, let's just run a speed test right here on live. See what our speed is at the moment. So I hope I'm getting 5G. So that's pretty impressive. Last time I checked, that 5G wasn't there a few weeks ago. So to do a speed test, I have several apps. So I swipe down from the center to get to search, and I type in speed. And you can see I have Speed Smart and Speed Test. Let's see how Speed Smart is. So that's, you can see River 81B4 is the name of the Wi-Fi part of the T-Mobile home internet. So let's see what our download is. So of course on Wi-Fi it's going to be less than a direct connection that I have on my computer. So right now I'm getting about 50 down, 47 down, and looks like the upload's going to be around 20, 17. Okay, so that's pretty good. Just for kicks, let's see what we get with speed test, because sometimes they're different. So yeah, a little different there. So it looks like we're going to get about, well, not that different. So we're going to get about 56 down. And looks like we're going to get about, it's trying real hard to get 20. And it looks like we're going to get a 26 maybe. Okay. So it thinks I'm in Phoenix, because that's apparently where the T-Mobile is handling the internet. So, not too bad for a Wi-Fi connection anyway. So, you too can download the cellular coverage app and see what your 5G coverage is where you live. Okay, so Stanley said that you're just doing this on your iPad, and so I'm afraid at the moment the answer is no. I don't know a way to do that. And okay, so Leslie Ann went to the Check Availability website, and she says it's available in her area. So that's good news. Probably, I'm guessing, because you're close to the Catalina Highway, maybe, sort of. So good. So anyway, that's my story about T-Mobile 5G home internet, and I still have my billing date for Cox was, I think, Saturday, so I've got another month of Cox before I can disconnect from Cox. So I'm going to use that time to test this further, maybe move it around the house, see if another window facing another direction will give me better service. And as Bob suggested, I'm going to check and see if I'm actually getting 5G or if that's just LTE. So that's what we have for you today. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see you next week on Go for Lunch every Tuesday at high noon. And of course, if you have any questions, you can contact me anytime at the phone number and the email address here. Take care.